Now let me tell you a story about expressions. Once upon a time, before episode 1 came out, I was learning the Source SDK the same as you are right now. I was trying really hard to learn how to use expressions because due to a bug in the software at the time, lip syncing wasn't working and expressions were a backdoor way of doing things. Now I got expressions to work in FacePoser, but in the game, they never worked. Not once. Even in the online documentation at the time, they said they were broken and I should just use flex animations instead. So I did. But time passed and thanks to new updates from Valve, expressions still don't work. In Half-Life 2 anyway. I did get them to work using episode 1, but I tried everything I could think of and they just will not work in Half-Life 2 regular. Now watch Valve release a patch that fixes everything after this tutorial is published just to spite me. But assuming you can get them to work, they do have some use, so we're going to cover that now. Go to the Expressions tab at the bottom, right-click to bring up Show if you need to. Now by default, the only expressions you're going to have stored are the phonemes used in lip syncing. So if you want to browse through all of those, you can simply drag the phonemes to the timeline to sound out your words. However, this method is slightly clunkier and more time-consuming, so we're not going to cover it. Instead, we're going to create our own expression from work we've already done. So go up to the blank space next to the tabs there, then right-click and click on New. Now type in a name for this. I'm calling it Test Expression. Now that's created a new category. Let's add an expression to work with. Go and select the flex animation and scan it to a point where he's scared. This is one way of getting the data we need for the flexes. Now, right-click in the blank area over here and click on New Expression. Give it a name and a description. I'm calling this Alarmed. Press Enter. Now just drag it to the timeline. And boom, an instant facial expression. You won't have any variation between the different face muscles the way you can with flex animations. The only thing you can do is ramp it. You can stretch it as long as you want to. So this is good for maintaining a simple facial expression without a lot of change. Now before we stop, go and click on the Flex Sliders tab. This is an alternate method of setting up the expression you want. You can adjust all the different values for the face here if you don't want to use a flex animation to set up your data. In fact, if you click on your flex animation, you can see it change the values on the fly like so. Then when you have it set up the way you want it, you can create a new expression the same way as before. Alright, I'm going to save this scene file so you can look at it. I'm going to Choreography, Save As, and I'll call this Facial Expression. Save. And actually, I forgot a step. I'm not sure what the best order to do this in is, but if you want to increase your odds of this working, go to your Expression tab, right-click on it, click on Export to VFE, then right-click again, then Save. Now again, there's no guarantees this stuff will work in-game, especially with Half-Life 2 regular. I got it to work in episode 1 doing all these steps. If you don't, then I'm sorry. I've had a long and sordid affair with expressions and I want it to end. So let's close this and move on to the next section.